If you give me 23 seconds, I will teach you how you can be an Amazon dropship fulfillment marketer, digital strategist, something, and it'll be totally awesome. And I'll have a big sports car right behind me that'll prove to you that I know what I'm talking about. Hello, everyone. Today, the topic of discussion will be online courses. Obviously, there have been a lot of online courses, and you can take online courses now on pretty much anything you want. And so you see a proliferation of them. You also see a lot of ads for them. And I'm sure you've seen quite a few ads pop up all over the place for courses and this, that, and the other. And so I just wanted to give you my 2 cents in courses. As you know, I'm involved in courses. I have quite a few up there, and I use them all the time. I'm a huge user of online courses from all different sources. Along those lines, I should mention, full disclosure, I do have courses out there. I have the one on how to become a successful freelance translator, which you probably heard of, and plus I have other ones. I might be biased. You can take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm going to try not to be biased, and so I'm not going to talk about my courses during this. I'm just going to talk about other courses or talk about in the hypothetical or anyway, about online courses in general and what I feel about them and whether they're worth it or not. Because a lot of people will tell you, oh, these online courses are all a scam, don't waste your money on them. Other people will tell you, no, you can learn a whole bunch from them. But anyway, like with anything, the truth is sometimes in the middle. So I just want to show you how I discern the wheat from the chaff, like how I figure out what to me is a good course and what isn't. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, you thinking of taking an online course in something, and then other people will say, in fact, many times you hear this as a complaint or you see this as a complaint for courses. People will say, oh, this course, gave me information, but it's all available online. And that's true for every single course out there. I can pretty much guarantee you, we live in the information age. Any single thing you want to find, any piece of information you want to find is out there online. Unless it's confidential or, private stuff, but that won't be in the courses either. Chances are you can find every piece of information out there online. So why should you take the courses? Well, there are a couple reasons for this. First of all, the courses will give you all this information in a logical manner. They'll give you step 1, step 2, step 3, and how it should go logically. When you're online, you're just bombarded with stuff here and there. You search on this website, that website, they'll have a lot of overlap. Other websites will contradict each other, and it can be very difficult. And but a good course will A, explain all the terminology if you're starting out. B, will have it in a logical format, and C, will give it to you in a way that you can digest step by step, right? And that goes along with the logical format, but it'll say, okay, when you first start, you should do this. And maybe it'll say, oh, and you should do this. You might not know why you need this, but trust me, you'll need it 3-4 steps down the line. And so it really, a good course will walk you through all these steps and will help you out with it. And last, but definitely not least, is the fact that sometimes you don't know what you're searching for, especially if you're learning something new, which I'm assuming if you're learning something, it's new to you. You don't know what you should be searching for if you just want to Google it. Take an example, hypothetical. Let's say you want to do some online advertising for whatever your business is or whatever you're doing. So you decide, oh, I don't need a course. I'm just going to go and figure out how to do Google Ads. There are 1.5 million places you can look up strategies and how to do Google Ads or what to do. So you look those up. You say, oh yeah, you can search. You can do it based on people's behavior, time of day, this and that and the other, whatever. Then you say, okay, now I want to master Facebook ads. So you do another search. And you say, oh yeah, you can do it by demographics, this, that, and the other. Okay, cool. See, I don't need an online course. I just do that. On the other hand, maybe if you have a business and you're targeting especially other businesses or people who are interested in some sort of professional stuff, maybe you should do LinkedIn ads, and you didn't even think about that because it didn't cross your mind. But on the other hand, when people are on Facebook, they're scrolling through their friends' pictures. When people are on Google, they're just surfing the web. But whenever they're on LinkedIn, they're more in a business state of mind. So maybe it could make more sense, depending on what you're doing, to have LinkedIn ads rather than the other ones. So that's just as an example. Many times you don't know what you're searching for, what you should be searching for, and a good course will tell you this. and we'll show you all the options and tell you, okay, if you're in this situation, you should do that. In that situation, you should do this. Because a good teacher will speak from experience in these courses. And so that brings me to the next point of these courses. You'll see there are a lot of places where you can find courses. Coursera, edX, Udemy, Skillshare, stuff like that. And so a lot of people say, oh no, stick to Coursera and edX because these are more, they're, basically schools have their own courses there on these platforms. A lot of them also just put them on YouTube. But other places like Udemy and Skillshare are where professionals put their own things up. And so that's why, actually, that's exactly how I divide it up. If I want to practice a language, say, or anything along those lines, I'm on Coursera and edX. That's exactly what I use them for, these days at least. And so more academic stuff, I'm using Coursera and edX. But when it comes to professional stuff, like online marketing or sales or anything along those lines, I'm mostly on Udemy but Skillshare and those other more professional ones are the ones that I'm on. And to me it makes sense that way because you have people who have business experience doing this stuff and talking about it themselves on places like Udemy, while you have academic teachers and whatnot teaching on Coursera and edX and those. And so it's that's the difference to me at least. And so that's what I would recommend you do. Let's bring it back to where you are right now. Chances are you might see these ads, and you see them all the time. And, these people say, if you give me 45 seconds, I will teach you how you can be rich beyond your wildest dreams. If you do any type of Amazon fulfillment or drop shipping, you're bombarded with these ads. And even if you don't do them, you're bombarded with them. I'm bombarded with them all the time. And, so how do you tell if these guys are real or not or anything? I'm not going to say they aren't or they are. A lot of them, many of them just come off purely scammy. And so how can you tell? So I'll give an example of mine. Basically, I was getting more into fitness and trying to work out. And so I wanted to find I'm willing to pay money for a good course, but I want to make sure it's legit. And there's so many scammy things out there, at least scammy looking things. So I really had no idea what to look for. I'm just out there going blind. And, so I found a bunch of stuff. And so what I decided to do was all these people, if they have online courses, they're online somewhere. Chances are they have a YouTube channel. If they're making online courses, they have videos out there somewhere. But otherwise, they have they have Facebook pages, they have this, that, and the other, and so you're going to be able to find them online. What I try to do when I'm interested in something specific and maybe, there's a certain person out there who I might want to learn from, maybe I saw their YouTube ad or maybe I just came across them some other way, I'll follow them for free. I'm not going to pay a cent before I follow them for free to get a better idea. And so I did this with the workout videos, right? I found a couple of them and I just followed their YouTube channels and, so I subscribed. And when their YouTube videos came up, I just see what they had to say and saw if it made any sense. And that's how I kind of, after a while, you realize some of them, they're just trying to push their things and trying to sell you and sell you and sell you, and they're kind of annoying. Other ones, they're just saying weird voodoo stuff that doesn't make any sense, or just repeating the same thing over and over. And I don't know, I was getting really annoyed with these workout guys until finally I found one that to me, every video he had out, I felt I was learning something. And even if it's not something that I was the type of workout I needed at that moment, I felt like I was learning something. And so, I found myself more and more bookmarking his videos because I wanted to come back to them later and they were something that I thought was interesting. And so ultimately, he has an app that you pay for. It was, what was it called? AthleanX, it's called. That's the one I went with in the end. Obviously, I'm not affiliated. I have nothing to do with them. But that was what I chose in the end because the guy, he seems very legit. All the information he was giving me, I liked. And so I ended up paying money for for one of his workout programs. And I don't regret it at all. It was very good. But I did my homework ahead of time. That's the point. And you should too. Before spending money on something here or there and then just saying, oh, it's a scammy out of it, follow that person. Get a better idea for what they're saying. And then that way you'll know what to think. You'll at least get a better feel, a better gut feel. I feel like that's, 80% of it is that feeling, that gut feel that you get after a while, and you'll know, okay, this person's legit, this person isn't. And that is a real good way to do it. Another thing that I find is I want to use, when I'm looking at these guys, I want to use critical thinking. And what I mean by critical thinking is that many times, like I said, I'll see these guys and it just looks like a scam. And think someone like, I can't remember any of the names, but those guys that say, if you give me 43 seconds, I'll tell you, blah, blah, blah. Or if Ty Lopez, he's one that you always see his ads for and stuff like that. And a lot of people are like right off the bat, oh, he's a scam, he's a scam, he's a scam. For the record, I don't know Ty Lopez if he's a scam or not, but I just see his ads all the time. And I see people commenting on them. But so what I try to do is use what I call critical thinking when I do this. So I'm like, if my first impression is that he's a scam, then I try to look in from the point of view that he's not a scam. And so, you know, obviously you have to be honest with yourself, but what I try to do, like with these workout programs, the guys seem like a scam, but I still subscribe, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna follow this like it's a class, his YouTube videos, obviously, before I paid for anything, and see if I can actually learn something and take him seriously, and not just look at him with cynicism and their skepticism and just be like, it's a scam, it's a scam, but actually try to see if I can get something out of it. And that way, if I try to be a bit more naive about it, it helps me to see if there's something that I can actually learn from it or not. Anyway, that's just the way that I go about it. You'll have your own method of trying to follow the person and going about it. And that to me helps me separate the real stuff from the not real stuff. Because let's face it, online, even on the courses, you find a bit of everything. And of course, you're going to find legitimate stuff, but you're also going to find a bunch of scammy stuff. I don't know what the ratio is, but what I do know is that when I follow this method and I try to do a bit of background research and then I follow this person for a while to get a better idea, it really helps me to see if someone's legit or not. And so yeah, I recommend you do the same thing for any type of online course you're doing or you're thinking about doing, or anything you're thinking about learning. If you're thinking about taking an online course, to follow that method and do it. By the way, I did the complete wrong thing for my course. Usually, you know, because here what I'm saying is you should, like, basically they should have an audience. If you have an audience that trusts you, and everyone says this, get an audience that trusts you, and then you can sell a course. I put out my course right away, and then I started making YouTube videos. So whatever. Like I've mentioned many times, this isn't my main way of making money or anything, but I'm just doing them to do them. And however, this, once again, is a method that I follow whenever I'm looking for online courses. So hopefully you can find it useful, and you can apply some of these methods. If you have other methods that you apply when you're looking for online courses and you're trying to figure out what's good and what isn't, feel free to let me know. Please let me know. In fact, I'll probably find it useful. And otherwise, I will see you on the next video. Okay, thanks. Bye. Savedum.